60. General knowledge, questions and answers. Which ruler of Magadha was a contemporary of Buddha? Ajatashatru. Ajatashatru 492 to 460 BC or early 5th century BC was a king of the Haryanka dynasty of Magadha in East India. He was the son of King Bimbisara and he was a contemporary of both Mahavira and Gautam Buddha. Parents: King Bimbisara, Kosala Devi. Nationality: India. Who ruled India before Mauryan Empire? Persia held dominance in northern India until the conquest of Alexander the Great in 327 BC. 1 year later, Alexander had defeated the Achaemenid Empire and firmly conquered the Indian subcontinent. Who pays IAS officer salary? One of the most important parts in relation to the IAS salary is that the salary is decided and fixed by the Union Government of India, but it is paid from the state funds. The state to which the IAS officer is assigned pays the salary and the other benefits. Was Nepal ruled by any country? Nepal is a multi-ethnic country with Nepali as the official language. The Shah dynasty established the Kingdom of Nepal and later formed an alliance with the British Empire. Under its Rana dynasty of premiers, the country was never colonized but served as a buffer state between Imperial China and British India. Who stole Kohinoor diamond from India? Nadir Shah. During the rule of Aurangzeb's grandson Muhammad Shah in 1739, Delhi was invaded by Nadir Shah, the Shah of Persia. His army looted all the jewels in the royal Mughal treasury, which also included the famous peacock throne and Darya-e-Noor, the sister diamond of the Kohinoor. Who got first Nobel Prize? Henry Dunant, 1901 Peace Prize. Henry Dunant, founder of the International Committee of the Red Cross, shared the first Nobel Peace Prize with Frederick Passy, a leading international pacifist of the time. Since then, the Red Cross has been awarded the Peace Prize 3 times. Why is Indian gold so yellow? There is a trend of fancy and lightweight gold jewelry out of India, so they have to mix alloys to craft a fancy and durable jewelry. This is the reason the gold in other countries looks light in color. On the other hand, Indians use 24 karat gold jewelry that looks fine yellow in color. Who is father of painting? Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso is the father of painting in the world. Pablo Picasso was a Spanish painter, sculptor, printmaker, ceramicist, and stage designer, considered one of the greatest and most influential artists of the 20th century. Picasso is credited along with Georges Braque with the creation of Cubism. Why are there no deltas on the west coast of India? Most rivers flowing west from the Western Ghats do not form deltas because of the high gradient, and they don't have to travel much distance to drain into the sea. As a result, they don't carry much sediments because they don't have the time to. How long can you keep dried ginseng? 3 to 5 years. If handled properly, dried ginseng roots should have a long storage life. There is minimal scientific information on the exact storage shelf life of ginseng, but by following some basic principles used for other dried root crops, ginseng should still be marketable up to 3 to 5 years after harvest. Which Indian classical dance is oldest? Odissi. Based on archaeological findings, Odissi is believed to be the oldest of the surviving Indian classical dances. Odissi is a very complex and expressive dance with over 50 mudras, symbolic hand gestures commonly used. Who is the next king after Ashoka? Dasratha Maurya. Ashoka was followed for 50 years by accession of weaker kings. He was succeeded by Dasratha Maurya, who was Ashoka's grandson. None of Ashoka's sons could ascend the throne after him. Who is the father of Bharatanatyam? Bharatanatyam dance is almost 2000 years old. It is believed that Bharatanatyam was revealed by Lord Brahma to Bharata, a famous sage, who then codified this sacred dance in a Sanskrit text called the Natya Shastra. Does gold float in water? Gold is hydrophobic, it repels water. Because of this, even if the piece of gold is first completely submerged, if it gets near the surface, it will throw off the water above it and float. Since most placer gold is flat and thin, its weight is small relative to its circumference, so it will usually float. Why is Borneo so special? Borneo is one of the most biodiverse places on the planet, being home to an estimated 15,000 different plant species. Borneo is home to the Rafflesia arnoldi flower, the largest flower in the world. Borneo is thought to be home to around 222 mammals, 44 of which are only found in Borneo. Which country have most islands? Sweden. Website worldatlas.com claims that out of all countries on the planet, Sweden has the most islands with 2,21,800, the majority of which are uninhabited. Even the capital of Stockholm is built across a 14 island archipelago with more than 50 bridges. What country is Singapore a part of? Singapore became part of Malaysia on 16th September 1963 following a merger with Malaya, North Borneo, and Sarawak. The merger was thought to benefit the economy by creating a common free market and to improve Singapore's internal security. What is the old name of Lahore? Lavapuri. It is called Hudud-e-Alam, the regions of the world. A legend based on oral tradition holds that Lahore was known in ancient time as Lavapuri, city of lava in Sanskrit, and was founded by Prince Lava, the son of Sita and Rama. Kasur was founded by his twin brother Prince Kusha. What language is spoken in Pakistan? Urdu. Pakistan's national language is Urdu, which along with English is also the official language. The country also has several regional languages including Punjabi, Saraiki, Pashto, Sindhi, Balochi, Gujari, Kashmiri, Hindko, Brahmi, Shina, Balti, Kowar, Datki, Harvyani, Marwari, Waki, and Burshaki. Who gave name India? The name India is originally derived from the name of the river Sindhu, Indus River, and has been in use in Greek since Herodotus, 4th century BC. The term appeared in Old English as early as the 9th century and remerged in modern English in the 17th century. When was the first national emergency declared in India? In the history of independent India, a state of emergency has been declared thrice. The first instance was between 26th October 1962 to 10th January 1968 during the India-China War, when the security of India was declared as being threatened by external aggression. Is titanium a pure metal? It has excellent corrosion resistance and a high strength to weight ratio. Titanium is the fourth most abundant metal, making up about 0.62% of the Earth's crust. Rarely found in its pure form, titanium typically exists in minerals such as anatase, brookite, limonite, lexolioxene, perovskite, rutile, and spin. Is the Electoral College a fair method of electing the president in US? The Electoral College was an ingenious compromise allowing the popular election of the president, but on a state by state basis. Citizens vote for the president, with the winner in each state taking all the state's electoral vote based on the number of seats that state has in the Senate and House combined. Who built Golconda Fort? Kakatiya dynasty. The fort was built by the Kakatiya dynasty in the 13th century, considered one of the India's most outstanding citadels. The Golconda Fort epitomizes the sumptuous Nawabi culture of the time. Shepherd's Hill or Golconda, as it was popularly known in Telugu, has an interesting story behind it. Who gave Jai Hind slogan? Subhash Chandra Bose. Many believe that Subhash Chandra Bose coined the slogan Jai Hind, but a book on legends and anecdotes of Hyderabad says it was first used by a man from that city who gave up his engineering studies in Germany to become Netaji's secretary and interpreter. What was the another name of Quit India movement? The Quit India movement, translated into several Indian languages as the Leave India movement, also known as the August movement, was a movement launched at the Bombay session of the All India Congress Committee by Mahatma Gandhi on the 8th August 1942 during World War II, demanding an end to the British rule of India. Who is considered as spiritual teacher of Gandhiji? Srimad Rajchandra, 11th November 1867 to 9th April 1901, was a Jain poet, mystic, philosopher, scholar, and reformer born near Morbi. He claimed to have recollection of his past lives at the age of 7. Who is the oldest Nobel Prize winner? Arthur Ashkin. American Arthur Ashkin, one of the winners of the Nobel Prize for Physics on Tuesday, is the oldest person even named as a laureate for any of the prestigious awards. At age 96, Ashkin, affiliated with Bell Laboratories in New Jersey, is 6 years older than Leonid Hovakris was when he won the Economist Prize in 2007. Why is gold precious? Though gold is quite abundant, because of its high popularity, it becomes very valuable. Another reason due to which gold works well in terms of value is because gold doesn't readily oxidize, thus, it maintains a constant weight. Other metals such as iron rusts and copper gets oxidized. Who is the first Lok Sabha Speaker, India? Ganesh Vasdev Mavalankar, 27th November 1888 to 27th February 1956, popularly known as Dada Saheb, was an independence activist, the president from 1946 to 1947 of the Central Legislative Assembly, then Speaker of the Constituent Assembly of India, and later the first Speaker of the Lok Sabha, the lower house of the Parliament. When did the first British Empire end? The British began to establish overseas colonies in the 16th century. By 1783, Britain had a large empire with colonies in America and the West Indies. This first British Empire came to an end after the American Revolution. Did Russia sell Alaska to the United States? Sale of Alaska was the United States acquisition of Alaska from the Russian Empire. Alaska was formally transferred to the United States on October 18, 1867, though a treaty ratified by the United States Senate and signed by President Andrew Johnson. Why has Thailand never been colonized? In the 19th and early 20th centuries, only Thailand survived European colonial threat in Southeast Asia due to centralizing reforms enacted by King Chulalongkorn, and because the French and the British decided it would be a neutral territory to avoid conflicts between their colonies. What does a Nobel laureate mean? Awarded for the greatest benefit to mankind. Each prize consists of a medal, a personal diploma, and a cash award. A person or organization awarded the Nobel Prize is called Nobel laureate. The word laureate refers to being signified by the laurel wreath. What is cadmium gold? Cadmium means gold in which cadmium could be mixed in a ratio of 92% and 8%, which ensured purity of 92%. Cadmium soldered jewelry was widely known as cadmium jewelry. While cadmium gold has been popular, it has been removed from circulation because it has been proven to be hazardous to health? Is iron in food the same as the metal? Iron is a metal. In fact, people with too much iron in their bodies can set off metal detectors, but iron is also an essential micronutrient. Essential used in this way means that the body doesn't produce the nutrient, it has to be gotten from food. How is English different from other languages? Spelling and pronunciation harder. English has a lot of different vowel sounds. Spanish, for instance, has 5. English, depending on dialect, has at least 12. And English doesn't use the accent and other markers that may other language use to differentiate how letters should be pronounced. Why is Telugu called Italian of the East? The Telugu language was called the Italian of the East by the Englishmen of the 19th century, as all words in Telugu end with a vowel sound such as do, mu, vu, lu. As an Italian, it is believed that Italian explorer Nicol da Conte, who visited Vijayanagara Empire during the 15th century, coined this phrase. Is Sikandar and Alexander the same? Sikandar is the Persian rendition of the name Alexander. When the Greek emperor conquered Persia, the Persians called him Sikandar. Alexander in Greek language means defender of humanity. Alexander the Great was a Greek, but they conquered the Persian Empire. What is the original name of Delhi? Mubarakpur. It then became Mubarakpur. Of the Sayyids came the Lodis and the Mughals when the name Delhi was finally established, and so it remained till the time of the British, who anglicized it to Delhi, which was retained after independence. Who was the king defeated by Muhammad of Ghazni? Jaipal. Alarmed at the rising power of the new Turkish principality, Jaipal, Shahi Raja of Jai Hind, took the offensive and advanced towards Subukutkin's capital. The two armies met between Lamgan, modern Jalalabad, and Ghazni. Jaipal was defeated and was forced to agree to pay a large indemnity to the Turkish ruler. Is honey good for inflammation? In addition to its use as a natural sweetener, honey is used as an anti inflammatory, antioxidant, and antibacterial agent. People commonly use honey orally to treat coughs and topically to treat burns and promote wound healing. What are the 7 Indian spices? 7 Indian spices to get you started. Black pepper. Peppercorns come in a rainbow of colors, and while most of the colors are used in Indian cooking, black peppercorns are the most common and pack in the most heat. Cardamom, chili peppers, cinnamon, coriander seeds, cumin seeds, turmeric. What is the Mansabdari system in Mughal Empire? The Mansabdari system was the administrative system introduced by Akbar in Mughal Empire during 1571. The word Mansab is of Arabic origin meaning rank or position. Hence, Mansabdari was a system of ranking the government officials and determined their civil and military duties along with their remunerations. Who ruled Chennai before British? During 16th and 18th century, Madras was ruled by Portuguese and Frenchmen. The arrival of railway in India during the 19th century helped the city to connect with other crucial cities like Mumbai and Kolkata, which encouraged the communication and trading in the surrounding area. Are chartered accountants rich? Yes, they are because it is accountants who get paid high in every part of the world. That is reason they earn maximum money to get rich. It may be difficult to judge that how much is the starting salary for an accountant, but it is true that they are rich just because of their accounting skills, expertise, and efforts. What is the minimum salary of IIM student? IIM Ahmedabad audited placement 2017, 10% of hike in domestic salary. Salary component in US dollars. Placement 2017 rupees in lakhs. Maximum salary rupees 85.27 lakhs. Average salary rupees 45.62 lakh salary. Median salary rupees 43.78 lakhs salary. Minimum salary rupees 19.73 lakhs. Who got both Bharat Ratna and Nobel Prize? In 1999, Amartya Sen was awarded the Bharat Ratna a year after his 1998 Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences. What are the ingredients in vinegar? Vinegar is a liquid that is produced from the fermentation of ethanol into acetic acid. The fermentation is carried out by bacteria. Vinegar consists of acetic acid, water, and trace amounts of other chemicals, which may include flavorings. The concentration of the acetic acid is variable. How does GPS detect traffic? So, how does GPS know when there is traffic? Google Maps can determine how heavy traffic is by the number of devices, usually your cell phone, in a certain location while driving. The more cell traffic on the road will show up as condensed traffic, hence, it will show up as a traffic jam. What is the purity of 22 karat gold? To calculate the purity level of 22 karat gold, you just divide 22 by 24 as 24 karat is 100% pure. This comes out to be 0.9166. When this is multiplied by 100, it becomes 91.66%, which is the purity of your 22 karat gold. What language is closest to English? Frisian is the language most closely related to English and Scots, but after at least 500 years of being subject to the influence of Dutch, modern Frisian in some aspects bears a greater similarity to Dutch than to English. One must also take into account the centuries long drift of English away from Frisian, which is the longest tributary. Yamuna is the main and the longest right bank tributary of river Ganga. It is a snow-fed, braided river which rises from Yamunotri glacier near Bandarpunch peak of the higher Himalaya. Why did Muhammad of Ghazni attack India? Muhammad of Ghazni had started his invasions in India during the period when the Rajput power had declined. The two main reasons that led to the conquest of India by Muhammad Ghazni was firstly to accumulate the vast amount of wealth that existed in India and secondly to spread Islam. Can you take vitamin C tablets every day? For adults, the recommended daily amount for vitamin C is 65 to 90 milligrams a day, and the upper limit is 2000 milligrams a day. Although too much dietary vitamin C is unlikely to be harmful, mega doses of vitamin C supplements might cause diarrhea, nausea. Which city is called City of Festival in India? Madurai. Madurai is called the city of temples and festival. Madurai is 10 hours from Chennai, which is the capital city of Tamil Nadu. More than 100 temples can be found in and around Madurai. Which state is known as India's Spice Garden? Kerala is one of the southernmost states of India. It is world famous for its spices. It has several spice gardens all through the state. Kerala is an important spice market in the country. Apart from being a commodity, the spice industry is also an important tourism element. How many states are there in India? 28 states. At present, India has 8 union territories and 28 states. The erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir has been bifurcated into two union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. The newly formed union territories have been formed under a Reorganization Act passed by the Parliament on 5th to 6th August 2020. Which is the smallest district in India? Mahi. Mahi district, also spelled as Mahe district, French, District de Mahi, is one of the four districts of the Union Territory of Pondicherry in India. It consists of the whole of the Mahi region. Mahi is the smallest district of India by size. The total area of Mahi district is surrounded by North Malabar of Kerala state. What could be the maximum time limit of 0 hour? It is 30 minutes. In Rajya Sabha, total number of requests is not allowed to exceed 7 on a single day. The total time allocated for 0 hour is 30 minutes, wherein a member gets 3 minutes to raise the issue. The session should be completed before 1 p.m. Do genetic combination of mothers play a significant role in determining the sex of newborn? No, mothers have no role in determining the sex of the newborn. Mothers have a pair of X chromosome, and all children will inherit an X chromosome from their mother, regardless of whether they are boys or girls. Which gold is the best? 24K, 100% pure gold. Being the highest carat of gold, it is easy to assume that 24K is the best gold to buy, but that is not necessarily the case. 22K, 92% of gold and 8% alloyed metals. 18K, 75% gold and 25% alloyed metals. 14K, 58% gold and 42% alloyed metals. How many states are there in northeastern India? 8 states. Northeast India, officially Northeastern Region NER, is the easternmost region of India, representing both a geographic and political administrative division of the country. It comprises 8 states: Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, and Tripura. What is the main language of Buddhism? Pali language. Pali, Sanskrit, Chinese, and Tibetan are the main sacred language of Buddhism. When Buddha's sutras were first written down in Pali, there were around 20 schools, each with their own version derived from the original. What is the largest wine company in the world? As the world's largest privately held wine company, E&J Gallo has always tended to keep a low profile, leading by example, and when working on industry issues, doing it behind the scenes. Winery employees say E&J Gallo has been environmentally minded from the beginning. Why the Narmada and Tapati don't form deltas? Narmada and Tapi are western rivers, and western rivers do not form deltas, whereas they form estuaries because hard rocks of western ghats don't allow western flowing rivers to widen their mouth into sea. So these rivers form estuaries, whereas eastern rivers flow through broken hills and mountain ranges.